Hi, welcome back to Michael's Weekly Rambles. How have you been? I'm aware that you can't really answer while watching the video, but I just thought it was a nice thing to ask. Um, Before I get into the premise of today's video, I just want to say something. Between the time I uploaded the first video and now, I came up with two ideas for the channel. One of them is that I can also make live playthrough videos. And what I mean by that is that between these um, ramble videos, what I'm gonna call them, you'll see that the title of the first video has changed, and the title from this video on will be name of the video dash ramble. And I also will be making just playthrough videos where I'll be continuing the survival world as I have until now and as I will in the future, but with live commentary of the game and rambling over maybe easier subjects, because the reason I make these videos pre-recorded, and what I mean by that is that, as I said in the last video, I record the gameplay and then I speak over it. I do this because it's just easier for me to focus on what I'm saying if I'm just speaking and I'm not thinking about also playing the game at the same time. And the other idea I had, and I still have, is that I can also make a secondary survival series. Um, I am subscribed to Minecraft Marketplace Pass, and that allows me to get some add-ons and some texture packs and mods, basically, for free, or actually for the cost of the membership. Um, and what I can do with that is start a new survival world that's modded, basically, with maybe some horror mods, maybe some like more developing the game technology wise or something, whatever. I think that would be fun, and it would totally not be a copy of Dante DM's The Diamond Dimensions. But I talked enough about Dante DM in the last video. Okay, I want to present the premise of today's video. Um, I'm gonna be talking about all my passions on this channel, be it music, movies, video games, as I'm gonna do right now, and everything in between. And for this video, I want to start with video games. I thought it was the most fitting follow-up to the first video to talk about what video games I've played growing up, what video games mean a lot to me, and stuff like that. Cool. There are a few video games that I will not be talking about. Some are like very, very, very niche mobile games that I just know. You know that kind of thing where you like picture a game. Like there's this specific racing game that was on my mother's Samsung, and it was you had this yellow car with black stripes. That's the only thing I remember. And I think about that game like a few times a year, and every single time I think, oh, maybe I know the name, maybe I know, and I never know the name. Never. But oh well. Um, those kind of games I won't be talking about, and also I won't be talking about Minecraft because I already talked about it in the last video. Cool. Well, there was actually a series of games that I was into before Minecraft. Ooh, that's kind of weird. um, well, before I could actually play Minecraft, because as I mentioned in the last video, first time I played it, it was the demo version of the Pocket Edition on my mother's phone. You know about it. So I still had to play some games. Had to. You know what I'm talking about. And my mom, one day, did the made the mistake of showing me Angry Birds 1 on her phone. I say it was a mistake because I think to this day it was my first ever video game addiction. Maybe. My first ever addiction as a whole. I became an Angry Birds super fan. I played all the games. I never actually finished the games back then, but I have finished a few of them like quite recently, just for the nostalgia of it. Um, and they were just so fun. It was you shooting birds at pigs. Come on, like that's one of the coolest things for me when I was a child. It was like such an interesting idea. And also a big thing was that they were so marketable and so easy to draw because I used to draw them a lot, me and a friend specifically. Um, Same friend actually that was next to the house that I built with Dan the pig inside. If you watched last video, you know what I'm talking about. Um, and just to show you how big of an Angry Birds fan I was, I still to this day have every single character in plush form other than Bubbles and Stella. And when I say every single character, I mean from the main line of games. So I have a king pig, a normal pig, a helmet pig, a four-man pig, all the birds except Bubbles and Stella. I have everything, and I also used to have T-shirts and hats and everything. I don't because they don't fit on me anymore. I grew out of them, but yeah, I was an Angry Birds super fan. To this day, I think it's the first ever video game fandom that I've been a part of. I was a Star Wars fan before that, but only the movies. So I do think it's the first video game fandom I've been a part of. Yeah. And other than that, also on my mother's phone before Minecraft, I used to play FIFA 15 Ultimate Team for the phone. Um, I was a very big FIFA fan because I was and I still am a huge soccer fan. Um, Football fan, soccer fan, whatever. I have the audience set to America on like the targeted audience. So I said soccer, but I call it football. And I'm an Ajax Amsterdam fan. I'm not from the Netherlands, and I don't live in Amsterdam. It's just my favorite football team. Around 2018, I think I discovered it, and yeah, since then I've been a fan. You might think it was kind of late, but until then, I wasn't really a fan of a team. I hadn't picked one that I just felt I loved. I was just a fan of Neymar and then a fan of Dybala. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's totally fine. But yeah, I was a really big fan of FIFA, and I watched a lot of FIFA YouTubers, specifically British ones like Road to Shaw, KSI, Momo FIFA HD. If some of you know him, then that's crazy. But yeah, it was kind of the same thing with Minecraft. When I discovered that I can play it on the phone, I was starstruck. I went crazy because I remember watching it on YouTube when I was young and being like, man, I just wish I could play that too. I wish I could play FIFA. And then I found that I could. I found out I could, and I was shocked. Then the big thing happened. I got the PS Vita, specifically a PS Vita that had 4 games on it. The games were Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Loco Roco, and another one. It was a Worms game. I don't remember what specific Worms title, but it was a Worms game. If you know, you know. And out of these 4, I literally only played 2, Loco Roco and the Worms game. I played the Worms game with my dad because somehow he told me that when he was a bit younger than what he was at the time, like maybe in his late 20s to 30s, he actually used to play Worms, which in the country that I'm from at the time was kind of crazy to be able to play a video game, especially a popular one. But somehow he found someone who had it, and they used to play together. And this game also had, like, past the console multiplayer, because it was the PS Vita. It wasn't past the controller, it was past the console. And we used to play against each other. And I also used to play Loco Roco because it was just fun. It's a fun game. It's a very childish game, a game I think literally like babies can beat, but it was just very fun. Um, then past the PS Vita, another huge change happened, and I didn't really talk about it enough in the last video. And it was me getting my Xbox 360, my first ever home console, and it was the best thing ever. I got it way too late. Like, I think I got my Xbox 360 like maybe a year before the Xbox Series S launched, not the Xbox S. Actually, yeah, it wasn't the Series S, it was the Xbox One S. But still, like, it was the upgrade version of the normal Xbox One, and that's when I got my Xbox 360. But it was cheaper, and that's why we got it. Um, and for that, I obviously got Minecraft, duh, and it was the first time I played Minecraft on a home console. And of course, I got FIFA. I got FIFA 16 when it was like just before the launch of 17, but my mom somehow found a great discount on it, and I got FIFA 16. So basically, my first ever FIFA game on a home console is FIFA 16. But then I had to also get other games. One of the first I played was Forza Horizon 3, and to this day I'm still a huge Forza Horizon fan, but I'm not going to talk about it that much because it's just not that interesting. It's a very fun game to play, it's very high quality, the cars are fast and whatnot. It's really not that interesting of a game to talk about. It's just racing. It's fun, I guess. um, but a game that, like, every time I think about, I get like goosebumps. Man, it's crazy. Is Metal Gear Rising. Sorry, sorry. It's Metal Gear Rising. To this day, it's the only Metal Gear game I've ever played. I have never played any other Metal Gear game. But Metal Gear Rising is absolutely amazing. If you haven't played it, I totally suggest it. It features Raiden, which I think, at least it's what I've heard, is a character from the Metal Gear series of games. But like here, it's like way in the future, and he's a cyborg, and he's basically a cyborg samurai, which is the coolest thing ever. And the game is so fun, and it has this specific thing, which if you played the game, you know how cool it is. um you have this thing where when you kill an enemy, how sometimes in video games you can do like a critical final kill and it gives you more points, like in Doom, when you shoot someone and then you go next to him and then you rip him apart. Well, in this game, you kind of have that same thing, but when you do it, you can cut with your sword in very slow motion by moving your stick, your right stick, or it was your left stick, I don't even know. You can cut him into pieces, and you get more points based on the amount of pieces you cut your enemy into. And you can literally like cut him into 50, 60 pieces. It's insane, and it's so fun. And my dad actually got him for himself because at the time, him and my mom weren't divorced yet, and he was living with us, and sometimes he played on the Xbox because he just found it cool as well. Um, and he got the game for himself because it was like I don't think it was 18 plus, but maybe like 16 plus or something like that. And he thought it was gonna be fun. And he did actually finish it. He finished it on easy difficulty in about like 2 to 3 weeks. It was so hard for him, and I get why. It was because he wasn't used to playing with the controller, so he had to look down every time he had to do something. When the sorry, it's like literally 6 in the morning when I'm recording this. That's why I am. Maybe I sound a bit weird and I say nonsense. Um, but yeah, he wasn't used to playing video games, so he had to look down every time the game said press the Y button, press the B button. He had to look down and see where the button was. Um, but he got it and he finished it on easy difficulty in about 2 to 3 weeks. And then he told me, "Yeah, well, you think you're so cool? Finish this game faster." And I finished it on medium difficulty in like 2 days. And that's when he realized the difference between generations. But yeah. And then there was also another game I played on the 360. Sorry again. Oh, I'm just so tired. But I just felt like recording a video or two. There's another one pre-recorded, like I have the gameplay for it. And I don't know if I'm gonna record the voiceover right now. I'm probably not because I'm very tired. But I do have the next video planned. So that's like one of the first times I've ever done that in my YouTube history. But as I was saying, another game I was a huge fan of was Fable. I There are more Fable games apparently. I didn't know about it, but it was a specific Fable game where you play as a child, like the child version of someone, and then you grew up to be someone. And I never really understood the game. I remember getting past the tutorial part and then getting to a certain point in the game where you could do some things, but like it became so open play, like open world, that me as a child, I didn't know what to do. So I just thought like it was like a walking simulator. I thought you were just supposed to walk around and talk to people, and that's what I did. I never completed missions. I didn't know how to do any of that. And I was so upset because I there was no way for me to earn money, and I couldn't buy better weapons. I couldn't buy anything. And I was like, well, this person is selling weapons, and like there's no way to make money in the game, so how can you buy weapons? I was really young and really dumb. And then a while later, I did get an Xbox One S um, on sale, I believe. And I still, to this day, remember the first time I played Evolve. If you know what Evolve is, you know why it's like kind of like a sad thing to talk about. I discovered Evolve through Jack Scott Games. Zach Scott Games, that's his name. Um, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And how would they call asymmetric? An asymmetric multiplayer game where one player plays as this like huge monster that goes through different stages of evolution in like the same game. So like you start as a normal version, and then you get more buff, and then you get into the final version, and 4 other players who are trying to hunt it. And you can play either as the humans trying to hunt the monster or as the monster. And I just thought it was so cool, and the graphics were so nice, and the gameplay itself was really fun. But for some reason they just didn't know how to market it, and not enough people played it, and they shut its servers down, and now you can't play it anymore. And there are no talks about there ever being an Evolve 2. Sorry. Which sucks, because it was such a cool game, and I don't know, I just feel bad for the creators of it, that nobody, there probably are other like huge fans, but like I don't see it talked about as much as I want to, unfortunately. Another game I played on the Xbox One for the first time was PvZ Garden Warfare 2. My stepbrother was a huge fan of PvZ Garden Warfare 1, and he played it on his PC and on his Xbox. Actually, I think he played it on his Xbox 360, not on his PC. But anyway, um, huge fan, and I was a huge fan of Plants vs Zombies in general, and I still am a big fan. I didn't really mention it, however, because I don't really know when I got into it. If it was after Minecraft, before Minecraft, I know it was after Angry Birds, but like everything is after Angry Birds, so. um, but on the Xbox One, I bought and I played Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2, and I loved it so much. It's just such a fun game. It's great. It's fun. It's crazy. It's kooky. It's wild. Other synonyms. It's the definition of multiplayer fun, in my opinion, and it's great. And I still play it. I bought it on my PS5 a few weeks ago, and I still play it like at least 3 times a week, and it's still so fun, and people still play it, and it's great. If you haven't played it, I fully urge you to. And then I did get my PS5, but I also got a PS2 Slim that's pink. Now, why did I get a PS2 in the grand year of 2024? Where it's actually quite simple. For a while now, for a few years, I've been a huge fan of the Silent Hill series. I read about it online, I watched theory videos, I watched gameplay videos, I watched like cinematic only gameplay videos. I was just a huge Silent Hill fan. But being a huge Silent Hill fan that had no way to play the games, I kind of like relived the like child thing with Minecraft and FIFA and not being able to play the games I was watching. But one day I saw a PS2 Pink Slim on a friend's Instagram shop, because something that's kind of popular to do. I don't know if it's popular in America as well, or the UK or whatever, but in my part of the world is that you start an Instagram account that's basically like a second-hand shop. And one of the people that had one of these sold a PS2, and I instantly bought it because it was a great price, something that would like be around like 10, not 10, 50, maybe 40 euros, which is insane. Sorry about that, I hit the microphone. That was very loud on the recording software. I hope it wasn't that loud actually. Um, but yeah, I got the PS2 and I modded it, and I played Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 3, and other games, specifically like Sonic the Hedgehog Unleashed and Shadow the Hedgehog and other Sonic games. And yeah, and on a PS5 this year, I got Silent Hill 2, the remastered version, and it's great and I love it. I still haven't played Silent Hill F, and I am gonna get it after I get the next paycheck. I'm not gonna get it right now because the paycheck I got wasn't as great as they will be because I'm still in training. But whatever, I will do my best to get a better paycheck once I actually get fully into the job, and I will get the game soon because it looks great and I really want to play it. And also, like the last game I want to talk about is one of the first I talked about. It's FIFA. I still play FIFA a lot and I buy it every single year, which is every single year a mistake. This year it's actually kind of fun. I said kind of intentionally because it's just kind of fun. But it's like way better than last year at least. But yeah, I still play it. I'm still huge on it. I have this like long career mode planned, and when I play a career mode, I like note down certain transfers and make storylines just to keep myself interested a lot more. Uh, yeah, this was me talking about myself again, specifically about what video games I used to play growing up. Um, I hope it was kind of fun to listen to someone else's experience regarding games. Maybe it was boring, maybe you enjoyed it, who knows. I just hope you had at least a bit of fun. Before I finish the video, however, I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time. I'm gonna quickly do a recap of what happened. As you saw, I kind of finished the base, not really, and that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of the episode. I just finish the base. Also, yeah, this is the perfect time to say it. I had the old texture pack, like the old school texture pack activated, and uh, I thought it was gonna make the game more fun, but all it did was give me this like ugly glass. Because let's be honest, one of the best things they did when they updated the texture pack is they changed the glass, because this kind of glass just is so annoying. And from the next video on, the texture pack is changed, and it's the modern one, and it doesn't have the fucking cum stains on the glass that are just so annoying to me. And yeah, it just looks better. Okay, back to the video. I also started a mine, and I found, actually I didn't find anything yet. You'll see in the next video what I'm talking about, but I started a mine. I got my first bits of copper, and I also made some copper tools for the first time ever for me playing Minecraft, um, which is kind of fun. And yeah, I just kind of finished up my base, started a mine, and I had very bad luck with mining. I barely found any coal, and then some copper, and you'll see, if you want to count this as a spoiler, then do so, but it's not really a spoiler. I do find like a mine next episode, like a huge cave, which just makes it much more easier, because I think we all know how annoying it is to mine and mine and mine and mine and not find anything, and just like hope for a cave at one point. Not even just ore, just hope for a cave. But I will find a cave next game, so yeah, that's fun. There's like a minute left, a minute and a bit. I do this weird thing with the entrance that I change first thing next episode. I just didn't know how to make it look good, and this looks horrible. But next video I sort it out. Yeah, um, this was kind of a weird video, just talking about myself and me growing up with video games. Next video is going to be a bit more open-ended and talk about an opinion regarding something, not just my personal life. And I think that will also be kind of interesting. Um, but until then, this has been Michael. You've been watching Michael's weekly rambles that, as I said, are not just weekly. They're gonna be a few times a week sometimes. Um, and yeah, I showcase my base here, and I show that that's what I did. This has been Michael. I hope you enjoyed the video, and goodbye.